Let us move on to our next questioner at the microphone over there. Mr. Edelman.
Welcome to America, Mr. Mandela. I'm Ken Edelman. Those of us who share your struggle for human rights and against apartheid have been somewhat disappointed by the models of human rights that you have held up since being released in jail. You've met over the last 6 months 3 times with Yasser Arafat, who you have praised. You have told Gaddafi that you share the view and applaud him on his record of human rights and his drive for freedom and peace around the world. And you have praised Fidel Castro as a leader of human rights and said that Cuba was one of the countries that's head and shoulders above all other countries in human rights, despite the fact that documents at the United Nations and elsewhere show that Cuba is one of the worst. I was just wondering, are these your models of leaders of human rights? And if so, would you want a Gaddafi or an Arafat or a Castro to be a future president of South Africa?
One of the mistakes which some political analysts make is to think that their enemies should be our enemies. That we can and we will never do.
Sure, what's up, South Africa? Welcome to Common Sense. I'm Andre. Nelson Mandela was wrong when he said this. Before we get into it, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the notification. Let's get into it. So we all know for a fact that the South African government as well as the ANC are siding with the Islamic regime of Iran. We know that. They've been standing firm on this belief. And we also know that the new ambassador of the USA said things last week that literally triggered the whole of South Africa. And I'm talking about triggered on the left, the socialists, the communists, the propagandists, all of them. He triggered by just stating 5 points what is necessary for South Africa to be a success with the USA. But then the South African government came out and they stated, you know what, we are not going to budge because we would rather take the side of a regime that kills their own people, that is a dictator, that treats women like dogs, and does not care about humanity. I've said it. If you don't like what I said, that's your problem. But let's check what the South African government has said. South Africa rejects US pressure to cut ties with Iran. They have decided we're going to cut it. And then, can you believe it? The audacity from the embassy, the Iran embassy in South Africa is saying this. And this is what they said. We do not let others tell us who our friends are. Madiba. And of course, they retweet the current reports breaking news. And you're wondering, when did Nelson Mandela actually say this? When did he say that we do not care who our friends are? Let me remind you.
One of the mistakes which some political analysts make is to think that their enemies should be our enemies. That we can and we will never do.
So there we go. Nelson Mandela has stated it. Nelson Mandela, the ANC party, as well as the South African government will side with Iran even though they know what they are doing to their own people. Treating their women like dogs, slaughtering their people in public, hanging women for disobeying their moral laws. And they just like, it's okay. We will take your funding, we'll take your money, and we don't care. We don't care. But you see the exact same people that are that are taking the side of Iran is the exact same people that will quickly cry out apartheid and racism. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, let me show you. So there we go. This is what Nelson Mandela and the ANC and the South African government is siding with. A regime, Islamic regime, that will slaughter their own people in their streets. And they don't care. They don't care. They don't have an inch of love or humanity towards their neighbor. They don't. They have pure evil and wickedness in their heart because of what they believe in. They treat women and dogs alike. And feminists are complete and utter quiet about it. But yet they want to come in the West and scream. They want to scream that women do not have rights. But the women actually in the East do not have rights. The mere fact that they cannot show their beauty. The mere fact that they cannot walk and just show their hair. Like, really? If you are a man and you see a woman in the street showing her hair and you are offended by that, you are the problem. But I fully agree with what Rob Hersov had to say when it came to Iran and South Africa. Check this out.
Yeah. That Iran is actually paying
100%.
The African National
ANC
Congress.
was bankrupt.
Yeah.
They couldn't pay their bills.
Yes.
The next day they had money. It came from Iran. Iran is bribing them. The ANC are prostitutes.
So you say the stance their stance in Israel is they are remote controlled by Iran.
Correct. So the ANC is an Iran proxy. Cyril, Naledi, 100%. They're kissing Iran's ass.
So there we go. I fully agree with what Rob Hersov had to say. I fully. South African government as well as the ANC party are prostituting themselves to the Islamic regime. They will rather take their money and close their eyes and not speak up for the Iranian people. The Iranian people had to take this for 47 years. And now the South African government is like, we saw nothing, but thank you for giving us your money. We saw nothing. You know what I find so strange? Is that you have South Africans in this country that think that's fine, think that's okay. I promise you, if this was 1945 and Hitler doing that to the Jews, those people that think this is fine will do the exact same thing in 1945 and actually agree with Hitler on the way he treated Jewish people. But no, Andre, don't talk about that. Don't talk about that. You all are a bunch of hypocrites. You go out there, scream and shout, free, free Palestine, free women's rights, give this, give that. White man racist. But at the end of the day, you're all a bunch of hypocrites. We see right through you. Propaganda paid machine. And you think South Africans are blind. South Africa, let me know what your thoughts are down below. Have a fantastic day. But South Africa, I'm going to leave you with this.
On behalf of 90% of Iranians in Iran and 99% of the diaspora, pardon my language, but shut the F up and sit down, and all the other liberal white women like you can do the same.
CNN's Clarissa Ward says she's ashamed as an American that the Trump administration is posting these flashy videos celebrating successful military strikes. Are you ashamed, Sheila?
Hey, Clarissa, Iranian here, and on behalf of 90% of Iranians in Iran and 99% of the diaspora, pardon my language, but shut the F up and sit down, and all the other liberal white women like you can do the same.